So, do you want to change your finances within 6 months? In this video, I'm going to give you a 6-month plan that you definitely need to follow if you want to hit financial freedom. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to take a look at your current financial situation. A lot of people do not have any budgets. They're not paying attention to their credit cards. They have no idea what's going on in the financial world. This is where the time is hard and it's difficult because no one wants to take a look at it. So if I was you, I recommend you get yourself a nice little drink because you're gonna need it once you start looking at these numbers. Now, what I want you to do is first take a look at your checking account. If it's negative, we don't want to see that. We want to get it to positive. But if it's negative, that's okay because this plan is gonna change all that. You want to see exactly what's going in and what's going out of your account, okay? Now, you can use, most of these banks already have an app where you could definitely check to see what's going in and out. You could download an Excel sheet, or you could just take a look at each and every transaction. It's gonna take time, but it's really important because financial freedom is something that's really important to you, and I'm pretty sure you're tired of being financially stressed. So it's gonna take some time. What I want you to do is to see how much money you're getting paid, number one. So you wanna get a sheet of paper and write your income. If you have side hustles, whatever it is, put that all within the income column. Then you wanna see what expenses are coming out. Your light bill, your groceries, your rent, all of that. And then you want to tally that up. Now, this is going to show you exactly how much money you have left in the end of the month. If you're negative, then we're going to need to do a lot more things to get it fixed. And I'll talk about that shortly. But during this process, don't beat yourself up. Okay, you already made the mistakes. It is what it is. Now we're going to fix it. So let's move on to the next stage. Now, once you see what kind of mess you're in, what I want to do now is create a 6-month financial plan, okay? Whatever goals you want to achieve. Let's say, for example, if you're carrying around a lot of debt and you want to pay off your credit cards, well, then we're going to make a 6-month goal based on that. You want to set, and when it comes to doing a goal, guys, that'll be very realistic. If you have a goal where you're going to go on vacation or you want to just save more money to your retirement account, you want to put this amount down. And it's really important, okay? Get a sheet of paper. Don't use your phone and just type it. No. You actually want to write this down because writing it down makes you think. You want to write down exactly how much debt you have or whatever goal you have, and you want to set a realistic timeline. Not what you wish would happen, but realistically. Once you did your whole income and expenses, see how much money you have left, you have a better idea of knowing what goals are realistic or not. You don't want to put yourself in a position to fail. So I always recommend start small. Don't go so crazy with it. Start small and it's something you can hit because if you reach that goal, you will be excited and you will continue going. Now for short-term goals, because 6 months is going to be a short-term goal, you want to set something which I like to call SMART. If you're anyone that went to college for finance or for business, you probably heard of this. It's an acronym, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Remember that. You want to make sure you hit all those criteria. If you do that, you will be on your way to certainly execute on a 6-month plan. Now that you know how much money you're making, the expenses, and how much everything is costing you, and now you have your 6-month plan as well, now it's time to reduce the unnecessary spending that you've been doing. Okay, in the first step, I'm pretty sure you recognize there were so many things going on there. So many things you were buying, whether it's a Starbucks or you're probably paying double for subscriptions you had no idea. You got to take a look at this and you need to really sit back and say, what is your needs and your wants, okay? As the way things are now, everything that feels like it's a want is a need, and I get it. But you need to be realistic if you want to hit this goal because you want to try to reduce your expenses as much as possible. Now, please understand this. I'm not talking about you make your life extremely uncomfortable and cutting out all these things, okay? Because there is a certain limitation where once you start cutting really, really deep, then this thing becomes painful and you might not actually want to execute the 6-month plan. I want this to be as easy as possible for you, okay? It reminds me of the whole when people try to work out, they spend all this money on workout clothes, they go from eating burgers to eating salad, you're gonna fail. That's really hard to do. You gotta do things slowly and gradually. That's the way things will always work, and especially if you're trying to reach financial freedom. So you can do a few things in this step, okay? If you have a tendency of always eating out and it's costing so much, because we all know right now eating out is extremely expensive, try doing meal prep, okay? You don't have to meal prep every single day. Add a day in the week. Usually for me, I do like a Friday where I treat myself and I will eat out, but at least try to go from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday you eat out. But those days you meal prep, okay? That will save you so much money. If meal prepping for 4 days is hard for you, go to 3. Because the key to this really is if you're going from every day, at least going from 3 days to meal prep to then eating 2 days out, that's cool. It won't drag you down so much because some of us use eating out as a social event, right? We go out with our friends, we grab a meal, or we just don't want to cook. We're just tired, we don't want to cook, and we really want to eat that burger or whatever it is. That is okay. Okay, put that within your plan. But you definitely need to cut back on stuff that you're spending way too much money on. You know exactly what it is. Trust me. Take a look at it, circle that line item, and cut it out. And also, this is really critical, and I almost forgot to say this. If you have all those apps that are constantly giving you notifications, then you know, hey, there's a sale, remove that. Because that's impulse spending. That is continuously just throwing in your face, and eventually you're gonna say what's on sale, it's buy one, get one, and you're gonna continue to spend. It's 6 months, okay? This plan is for 6 months. This is not for the rest of your life. If you dedicate the 6 months to this and you sacrifice for 6 months, you'll be in a way better position where if you do get these notifications and you do want to splurge a bit, it's okay. But it puts you on the path and increases your cushion. Because right now you have no cushion between your income and your expenses. You want to increase that cushion. That way you can have more fun in your life. Okay, so now when it comes to reducing your expenses, you only could go so far, okay? Depending on the situation you're in, you cannot cut so much. And sometimes just cutting some expenses to some people might not be enough. This is where you need to increase your income. Now it's time to do some side hustles. I know everyone's like a side hustle. I don't know what to do. I'm not an entrepreneur. That's okay. I'll keep things really simple for you guys. Just go ahead and go on Uber Eats and go ahead and subscribe to DoorDash and Instacart, okay? These are the things as well that you want to do on the side when you just, you have a free time. You can actually just turn on those apps and make some extra money. Do you make a lot of money doing it? It depends, because unfortunately it's a side gig, so they'll only will give you the job if something is available. And you also, if you're out there and there's so many people as well that's online, it's kind of a first come, first served basis. That's just the way it is. But it will at least allow you to increase your income. Now, you can try as well at work, apply for some promotions, transfer to a different department. Yeah, I know right now wages in corporate America right now is not that great. It's really, the wages are extremely stagnant. But check out all these opportunities, because, it might just be easier if you try to get a promotion in your job, okay? But the easiest thing to do, really guys, the easiest thing to do to make money quickly is use one of these apps. Like I said, Uber Eats, Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, all of them, and just try to boost your income that way. But also, you can sell stuff. You might have some unwanted stuff in your house. Right now, there's so many people with Pelotons that just has towels hanging on top of it. Right now, it's like a closet, okay? People are not using it. Sell it. If you have anything in your house that you just don't use, sell it. Go on Facebook Marketplace. Go anywhere, guys, and just get rid of it. Have a garage sale and start selling some of your stuff. This will help you reach your goal a lot faster. Also, you will not have stuff in your house that's sitting there that you can turn into money, and it was actually a bad decision you made in the past that most likely now you're paying for. Get rid of it, recoup some of that money, and get your financial future better. And if you also have any type of skill, try to monetize it. Okay, listen, if you're good at baking, try to sell some cakes. If you're good at talking and conversing, you want to teach people, make a YouTube channel. The YouTube will take a little bit longer, okay, to get monetized. It does take some time, but you can at least start it and just see where it goes while you're also doing something else on the side. But you can monetize your skills. You can become a tutor. You can become whatever you're good at. Just start teaching people, because right now at this stage, you want to boost your income as much as possible. The more you can boost your income, the less cutting you gotta do in your expenses, which will allow it to feel more freeing, way more freeing. Because as I said, you don't want to cut so much where life is just miserable. But if you're able to boost your income and not cut so much, that's a win-win. The next thing you want to do is, especially if you have debt, is you need to have an aggressive payoff plan. I'm all about investing. I truly love investing and putting money into your Roth IRA and putting money into a market and just growing your money tremendously. But, there's a but. If you have credit card debt, that's toxic debt. That's just eating away from your investment. So you will make more money and better returns if you just pay off your credit card. So at this point, you need to sit down and say, okay, what am I going to do with all this credit card debt? How am I going to pay this off? You want to take a look at all your credit cards. You could do a few methods here, okay? You can look at all the balances. You could do the debt snowball. If you follow Dave Ramsey, that's pretty much pay off the smallest to the largest. So as soon as you pay off the smallest balance on your card, you take that same amount of money and put it into the next. Or you could do a debt avalanche, which is to pay the card that has the highest interest. I, myself, highly recommend you do the debt snowball, because if you're doing this 6-month plan and it feels like this is not going to work, when you start paying credit cards off, especially small balances, you're gonna feel like, okay, this is working. Okay, and that's the goal here. You wanna make sure that it's working. So follow debt snowball and aggressively start putting money in there, okay? Do not play around with this money, because now you're gonna look at your budget and say, wow, I have all this extra money from the side hustle, from cutting back the expenses. Maybe now I could do, no. We're not gonna do that. You wanna aggressively pay off your debt, because that is extremely toxic. To some people, the 6-month plan might be strictly on debt, okay? And you might need to do another 6-month plan to continue the debt. Eventually, you want to get to a point, make a 6-month plan where you can enjoy life. So that's why you want to get rid of it. You want to have a 6-month plan where you say, I'm going to go to Italy, I'm going to go to Spain, I want to buy a new car, something enjoyable in your life. You don't want to continue having debt in your life. And if you do not attack this aggressively, it's just going to linger for even longer and longer. Get it out of your life now. Now, while you're doing all of this, this is what I want everyone to do, okay? I want you to document your journey. Document your path. Me personally, I have a journal, and what I do is everything in my mind, all my wins, things that I did correctly, I write it down. If I said no to going to Starbucks, if I cut back on eating out, I write that down, because the fact you write it down makes it feel, especially at the end of the day, makes it feel like I did something. Okay, I did what I was supposed to do, and I'm holding myself accountable. If you mess up, by no means do you say, you know what, screw it, I messed up once. No. When you mess up, you say, man, I messed up. What did I do to mess up my budget? What did I do where I had that impulse spending and I bought that thing that I said I would not buy? Write it down and do whatever it takes to avoid it. But you want to write this down to hold yourself accountable, okay? I always put down, when I do it, my financial goal on the top. Whatever number it is, in this case, let's say $20,000, I'll put $20,000 on the top. I start writing in my journal saying how close I am. Today, I made, I don't know, $1,000. Now I'm 19,000 away, okay? If you have debt, I had 10,000 in debt. Now I owe 9,000 in debt. Whatever it is, but just write it down, because you want to keep track of this. This will also let you know realistically how you're getting close to your goal. I usually do it at night before I go to sleep, because I'm just that type of guy that all these things are lingering in my head, and I feel like, get it out. Get out of your head, because I'm always like, did I do the right thing, whatever. No. Write in a piece of paper, because you will sleep a whole lot more comfortable. You won't be financially stressed. So get it out. But also in the morning, write down what your goals are. Write down things that you want to achieve throughout the day in order to hit your goal. If you do that, you're guaranteed to change your whole financial outlook, and your future will look a lot better. Now, the most important thing that you definitely need to do is to celebrate your wins. I do not care how small your wins are. I don't care. If, for example, you have a tendency of always eating out, and one Sunday you decide to start meal prepping. I don't care what your meal prep either, guys. You can make sandwiches for the week, whatever how you want to do. You make that meal prep, celebrate that. Like, wow, I actually started the process. I made food for me to eat during the week. Celebrate that, okay? And when you pay off a credit card, celebrate it. Treat yourself to something nice, not something crazy and expensive, something nice. Maybe it's a drink or just something in your life that will give you some like happiness. Go to Starbucks and get coffee if you're trying to cut back on Starbucks, whatever it is. A little enjoyment in your life, and pat yourself in the back and say, man, good job. A few months ago, this is something I would never have done, but now I feel confident and I could do it. And luckily this plan is gonna work. So you wanna celebrate the small wins. Do not forget about that, okay? Because I understand. I do a finance channel, so I definitely understand how you get so caught up on reaching your goal, to paying off debt, or to become financially free, which to be quite honest, financial freedom, the number could change at any moment. So if it's like you're continually chasing it, it gets exhausting. It feels like it's something that you cannot reach. But you want to break these small wins down to chunks, because you are making positive changes in your life. That's a good thing. Okay, what you're trying to do is a good thing. You're acknowledging you have a problem and you want to fix it. You want to get better. Do not beat yourself up. Just give yourself these small wins, enjoy it, and keep on going, because you're going to reach any type of goal if you do it and you're enjoying it. So as you see, if you follow this, and usually I do this every 6 months, I always hit a reset and I always do it again 6 months with a new goal. It's extremely powerful. You will reach your goal. There is just no way you will not reach your goal if you follow all those actions. That's exactly what you need to do to change your financial future. There is no other way, guys. You need to sit down and focus on how much your money you're spending, your expenses and your income. You need to write a plan, write that plan down. Then you need to discuss what it is that you exactly need to do, pay off your debt, you want to save, whatever it is you want to do. But if you write it down and you execute, you're going to hit that goal. Now, I would say this. Would you hit the goal exactly, the exact number you want? I'm hoping so, but maybe not. It might be a little difficult, especially if you started doing this, because as I said, you get so excited, your goal will be just tremendous, and you might not reach it, but you tried. You definitely tried, and you got a lot closer, and your financial situation is a lot better than it was a few months ago. So don't beat yourself up. Every 6 months, keep on making the plan, okay? Every couple of days, keep on revisiting your current plan to see exactly where you stand. And by the time you know it, you will be extremely financial free, and then you will not have to ever worry again about debt or being so reliant on a 9 to 5.